Hello everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. You all know what season it is right now. It comes every year around this time in March. Check the jewelry, check the backdrop. I didn't have time to do anything fancy. I literally just got like a bunch of these felt Sakura decals from Daiso, and I stuck them on where the flowers would have been in my original backdrop. Now that there should be no doubt whatsoever in your mind, today we're gonna do a get ready with me with a full face of Sakura themed makeup products. And I truly did not plan this out whatsoever. It just kind of happened. I feel like I say that a lot in my videos, but it's true. Again, maybe it's just an unconscious thing that the overall Sakura vibes in the air have influenced me unwittingly. Even my nails, you can see, are pretty much like the exact color of a Sakura petal. This really soft, dusty pink. It's funny because like I didn't necessarily want to get these nails, but I had a couple of in-person interviews lined up, so that's why I switched it to something, you know, demure. I think the kids are calling these housewife nails or whatever. Side note, they also happen to match my new coat, which is also Sakura colored. And speaking of Sakura color schemes, that is precisely the look that I'm going to be going for with all of the exciting new makeup that I have in front of me today. So we're gonna start off with a newly released cushion foundation by Canmake. This is called their Fit Glow Cushion. I picked up the shade 01 Light, even though I do feel like shade 2, so unfortunately there are only 2 shades in this foundation range, but I think 02 could have matched me skin tone wise no problem, but I really wanted something with that pink undertone, which I feel like 01 has, whereas 02 is more of a yellowy base, but I wanted that pink doll-like effect. So I'm just going to jump right in and start applying, and you're gonna see, actually it's probably apparent already, that this foundation does go on super thin. I think I can get away with the shade match not being exact because, yeah, I think the thinness of the application makes it really easy to blend into your natural skin. Hold on a second, I do want to peel off the film on the mirror. So yeah, at first I was like very skeptical about this foundation. I didn't pick it up immediately when I saw it because I remember the last cushion compact that Canmake put out, I wasn't really impressed by. It was the Luna compact. It had the cream foundation and a highlighter portion in it as well. That one has like a literal, you know, solid block of cream foundation basically in the compact. Do you guys remember this? The Luminous Luna compact. So this one is not actually a cushion foundation. It just has a solid foundation inside. So yeah, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I guess I just wanted to say that because this formula was not exactly my favorite, it's not even that I disliked it or anything, it's just the format is not what I was looking for. It's a little bit heavier by nature of being a cream foundation, but this one is actually a cushion foundation. And then when I saw how like glowy and thin looking the swatch was in the store, my interest was piqued. Okay, so this is how the foundation looks on me with 1.5 layers, I'll say. No primer today. I wanted to see how this performs on its own. And I say 1/2 because I just went in with like another tap of the sponge in the center of my face so that, you know, the brightening effect could be more prominent in the center and then it kind of fades out as you get to the edges. Yeah, I think the color payoff is very, very impressive considering how thinly this goes on. It's really like a second skin almost. I truly don't feel anything after application. Let's read some of the characteristics off from the box. So it says 우른또 수입분감. So basically like a moist, watery effect,透明ツヤ肌, translucent, glowy, dewy skin. I think that checks out. Like glass skin, even though that term is so overused now, but I really do feel like this is the exemplification of a glass skin foundation. But let me not get carried away because I only just applied it. I don't know how it's going to break down necessarily over the next several hours. Let's hope that it holds up well. There's SPF 50+, PA+++, very close fitting, and very resistant to sweat and sebum buildup. Doesn't break apart easily, gives you marshmallow skin, looks so translucent and glossy like you just put on a filter, blah blah blah. So far I'm loving what I see. I know that, okay, it's kind of obvious right now because I haven't put on the rest of my makeup that my face is a different shade than my neck and my chest, but I also feel like that's kind of low-key on brand though for the Douyin look that I'm going for, because is that not how all those girls look? Like they always choose a foundation that's 3 shades lighter than their actual skin tone. For eyebrows, I'm gonna use another new-ish Canmake product. This is the Styling Edge Eyebrow in 02 Ash Brown. Now, I wasn't particularly in the market for a new eyebrow pencil, but I happened to have some points that I needed to use up, so this was the perfect thing to spend it on. Look at how this is packaged. So it's basically shaped like a very thin rectangle. Yeah, the component here helps to, I don't know how to describe this, but it's designed so that the rectangular shape is held and that you can basically use this in a very precise way to draw on individual brows and whatnot. So there's that, and on the other hand there is a spoolie. I've never been great at the individual brow hair drawing thing. See, this is already going south, but I'm gonna try my best. See, I always end up just shading in the entire block anyway. I really struggle with the individual eyebrows. Well, I kind of got the hang on the inner edge here, but okay, I had to erase that and start over because, like I said, I'm really not adept at drawing individual hairs. I feel like this tool could be great if it was in the hands of a better artist, but since it is in the hands of me, I'm struggling a little bit. I don't know, I just feel like, okay, yes, it is a thin rectangle, but still not thin enough, I don't think, to give you like the most precise or realistic looking strokes. And also, how am I supposed to hold it when I'm trying to draw in the brows at the edges here? This is the best that I could do. Don't look too close because, well, it's probably too late for that. You can see that I tried to do the individual hair technique at first, but as you can see, it kind of just devolved into my usual block brows. See, this is why I prefer to use powder, right? Because the softness of the powder offsets the blockiness of the brows. I don't think I'm talented enough to use this product to its full potential, but I will say, you know, formula wise, it's very creamy, it glides on very easily. The color is also very natural looking, so no complaints. Formula wise, I feel bad that this design is wasted on me, but hey, the brows turned out decent, so we're just going to roll with it. And I'm gonna go into cheeks. Third new Canmake item in a row. There's a lot of Canmake in today's Get Ready With Me, but I have got my hands on the coveted new shade to their newly renewed powder cheeks line, the one with the Powerpuff Girls heart logo. This is in shade P05, Classy Mauve Pink. I'm not sure if it was limited edition or if it just sold out really quickly upon initial release. I think it just sold out and we're waiting on the restock now because I cannot find this anywhere in stores at the moment. I actually had to get it off of Amazon. I actually had to get it off of Amazon for almost twice the retail price. Sometimes it'd be like that, but this again is the perfect like dusty pink mauve Sakura color, so let's go ahead and apply that all over my cheeks. You know, I honestly didn't expect that I would be so taken with the new Canmake Heart blush series, but I just put out a short the other day of how I already panned this shade right here, PL1. Total surprise because I truly wasn't even aware that I used it that much. But let's try P05. Ah, I love it already. Okay, this truly is like that perfect muted mauvey pink shade. It's like just enough color to be able to tell that you do have blush on, but it's still very understated. Or it's a lot more natural than you would imagine just judging from the color in the pan. Yeah, I think this one definitely looks the most natural and demure out of all the shades so far. I still love PL1, but this one is more like a really obvious pink, whereas this one is more pink undertones kind of vibes. Okay, so now let's move on to, I was gonna say the item that I'm most excited to try out, but to be honest, I'm really excited and happy with all of the purchases that I'm going to be trying out today. So Dasique, which is a Korean brand, came out with these adorable new Sakura petal shaped palettes. You can see the palette is shaped like a literal flower petal, or this also resembles like just the classic, you know, artist's paint palette shape. And there were two available color variations that I know of, at least. One of them was more of like a warm toned pinky coral, and the other one was this one, which is 31 Love Blossom. And I picked this one because, you know, I'm in my cool toned era these days. I was surprised because the other one, like the warm toned palette, I think number 30, was sold out last time I checked, so that seems to be the popular one. But as for me, I'm definitely vibing a little more with this mauvey cool toned pink color story over here. And you can see the detail is just so original and cute. There's a sakura petal on the first shadow here, and then this glitter right here, this one has a really nice subtle shift to it. So let's go ahead and use this on my eyes. When I swatched them on my hand earlier, they were decently pigmented. Not overly so, like not Chinese eyeshadow level pigmented, but for a Korean brand. But the true test for me, it's not really so much the pigmentation as it is like the evenness and the blendability of the shadows. So let's hope that these actually perform well on the lids and also together, which I have a feeling they will, but you can never be too sure. So I'm gonna put on some eye primer first. Okay, what do I want to do? It's been a while actually since I put together like a proper eyeshadow look with, you know, several different shades blended together. I must admit that I have just been kind of living the one shade, one swipe type of life lately, but it's not because I don't want to continue playing in eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow looks across the spectrum, from the craziest, most drag style looks to the most barely there clean girl aesthetic. I love it all, but it's just a matter of time constraints these days, you know. However, I must remind myself that you have to make time for things that are important to you. So we are going to dip into this matte pink shade right here for the base color. Okay, I like this. This is one of those milky looking mattes. It doesn't look too dry on the lids, and it doesn't emphasize any wrinkles or anything. So far, so good. I don't really see much of a difference between the middle two shades here. Okay, I guess this one is slightly more muted, but I do think that a lot of the shades in this palette come across kind of the same-ish. Like, there's not that much contrast as I would have personally preferred. But moving along, let's go in with this deeper mauve. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get to use this Sakura shade, because again, it's kind of like, okay, this one has two shades in one pan technically, but the shades themselves are kind of just copies of what already exists in other pans in the palette. So yeah, it would have been nice if they had a little more contrast between the shades. Okay, I like how blendable and diffusible this formula is, so I'm gonna go pretty liberally here on the under eye outer corner. I know that I can get away with not being super precise with this formula. Also the fact that the look is pretty much monochromatic. I mean, even the blush matches, but yeah, I'm enjoying like the freedom with which I can just make these huge strokes across my eyes. Not the biggest fan of how flaky the glitter is. I think I prefer flower nose glitters. But it is very pretty. It's very finely milled. It is staying on there. It's just that, you know, I can feel like the fallout in my eyelashes and stuff. Too much glitter fallout. Maybe I put too much on my brush, but you see how it's like migrated all the way down here? The realization is kind of dawning on me at this moment. It's not that I'm disappointed or anything, but it's just I'm realizing that this palette is not the game changer that I was building it up in my mind to be. It's just a regular run-of-the-mill pretty pink K-beauty eyeshadow palette. If it wasn't in this packaging, honestly, nothing to write home about really. Not bad, but not life-changing by any means. For example, one of the things that I'm kind of disappointed about is that the darkest shade here, it really just doesn't show up no matter how many times I try to go over. You see, it just kind of disappears into nothing and never really builds up into that dark shadow effect that I want. Honestly, I don't know if I can even recommend this in good faith. I don't regret purchasing it because I do love the packaging, but anyway, let's finish up. I want to put this iridescent pink in the inner corner. Yeah, like the glitters and the shimmery shades. You know, they swatch really pretty. They look sophisticated, I guess, because they're very finely milled. But again, it just doesn't show up as much as I would hope. I think for someone who is maybe a makeup beginner or they're just into more subtle looks, this might be a good palette, but me personally, I'm definitely left wanting more. Yeah, it's just not enough impact for me, you know? You see how I keep having to layer on 5-6 layers and only then do I barely manage to get the shimmers to show up? Yeah, I don't know what to say. This is falling kind of flat. Adorable packaging though. I can never take that away from this series. Dasique. I don't know about Dasique's eyeshadows. I think this might put me off on trying any more of their eyeshadows in the future. They had little matching singles as well with this collection that are also petal shaped, but see, I can't even recommend those now either because I'm just not impressed with the eyeshadow formula overall. I do want to try their heart-shaped blushes though. I don't know the exact name. Those looked pretty promising last time when I saw them in the store. Eyeshadows though, I am probably just going to steer clear. I mean, even this Canmake Plumpuku Coordinate Eyes, I think this one is even more pigmented than some of the shades in this palette, believe it or not. But yeah, let me just go ahead and finish everything up. The last thoughts about the eyeshadow palette, I kind of hate it. Do you like how I just went through the whole cycle of denial in this video? Like in the beginning, I was trying to convince myself that I wasn't that disappointed and that it was just okay, run-of-the-mill eyeshadow palette. But now, after seeing the finished product, I mean, I think it looks nice, you know? I like the tones in the palette, I guess, but as far as just the formula itself, I have to say I'm very, very underwhelmed. And it's such a shame because the packaging is so adorable. And I was rooting for this. We were all rooting for this, but I cannot in good conscience recommend this to anyone. Especially since I felt that this was quite steeply priced, at least here in Japan. I honestly might just go ahead and sell this on Mercari because I was not impressed. I was not impressed. It's giving very like 2019 K-beauty eyeshadow formula. I feel like it really didn't add anything to the table. It just has that classic, like, all the colors are the same-ish, and even the glitter toppers are very flaky. They don't show up strongly. But yeah, enough trashing of Dasique. Let's move on to the lips, which I'm low-key like the most excited about. I've been waiting to do this lip technique that we're gonna get into very soon. But let me first introduce the new lip product, if I can find it, that I just picked up. Alright, so I picked up this new lip tint. I'm so excited to finally use this on camera, but this is by BBIA Cosmetics and it is their low tint. Low means water in French, so watery tint. I believe that this won like #1 in some beauty category, most long-lasting tint at some point last year, but this was truly a wild card. I was not planning on picking this up, but when I saw this packaging in the drugstore, I just had to go for it. And I know that if you've been watching me, you might be a little bit confused because I've always been not the keenest when it comes to these watery type, you know, lip tints that have been popularized. I guess K-beauty was the first one to popularize these, but now they are pretty much available in all the Asian beauty markets. Chinese, Japanese, Korean brands all have their own versions of these watery tints. And I've always said in the past that I'm not the biggest fan of these because I just don't think that they do much for my lips. Like, they're not super flattering. So unless you already have naturally really plump lips or you get fillers or something, I just feel like these formulas for the most part are not super flattering. Like, they just don't do much for most people, in my opinion. And especially if you have a lot of fine lines or wrinkles in your lips, I feel like it really just doesn't do me, at least, any favors. It just lies very flat on the lips, and yeah, I always thought that it looked really cheap. That is until I discovered one of my new holy grails, which is the YSL Love Shine Candy Glaze. I will never be able to remember that off the top of my head. In #2, Healthy Glow Plumper. And you probably already know because I've mentioned and used this 1,000 times by now, but it's just a clear light pink color, and it is exactly what the name suggests. It's just a very, very thick lip plumper. But because it adheres so well to the lips, like it doesn't move around, I feel comfortable using this as a base to any other lip product out there pretty much that doesn't give me the plumping effect that I necessarily want, but maybe I like other aspects of the formula, such as the color or the finish. So that makes me really excited because that means I can actually try out some of the hyped over watery tints that are out on the market these days. Sorry, I just took like an hour-long break because I had to charge my battery, so I just went outside to the Konbini and stuff. Where was I? So I use my YSL Love Shine Candy Glaze in number 2 as kind of like a plumping base. And then I'm gonna go in with the BBIA lip tint in 05 Peony Low. This is that classic fuchsia shocking pink color that I love so much. Okay, wait. I want to have a moment for this packaging. It is so chic. This is probably one of the only few like drugstore watery lip tint formulas where the packaging is truly giving me luxury. It's so simple, but something about the label here being made of cloth just makes it so classy. It smells so good too. It smells like fresh apples, and it doesn't smell artificial either. It really gives that biting, authentic apple smell. That combined with the YSL, which smells like peaches, I am in heaven. You guys know I love a fruity, fresh, citrusy scent. Okay, so I'm going to actually do that Douyin lip application technique where I think it's better if I just show you rather than try to explain, but you only apply the tint in strategic places. And then do like a little devil's horn on the top lip. Okay, I put on too much. Let me blot this. Okay, this is not the cleanest application, but I think here on top of the Cupid's bow. And I'm gonna do like a little bit of the Joker lip on the corners as well to try to give myself a lifted smile effect. I don't know if it's popular now, but a few years ago I was sitting on the train with this girl from the same dance class, and she said that she got the new Joker lip surgery thing and she kind of regretted it. She told me, like she showed me, this was back during COVID, so we were all wearing masks, but she pulled her masks down and showed me that she got like tiny cuts on the side of her mouth to get that Joker smile effect. It was kind of crazy. She did say she kind of regretted it, so I felt kind of bad, but anyway. Okay, so you think that that's the end of that, but we are actually not done yet. Because you know, I am very particular about how my lips look, so just know whenever you ask me, oh, what's your lip color? What are you wearing on your lips? It's always going to be at least 3, probably closer to 5 on average, to be honest, products layered on top of each other. It's never just going to be one lipstick or lip gloss. So as a final layer, I want to glaze it over with something super glittery like this Visé lip plumper right here. This is in SP002 and it is a very, very glittery, milky pink. So I'm going to dip in with a separate applicator actually. I got these from Daiso, and I do think that this lip plumper is kind of a hidden gem in the Japanese drugstore. It's not one of those hyped products that I ever see making the rounds on TikTok or anything, but in my book, it's like one of the best kept secrets. I do wish the applicator was bigger. Like the applicator that it comes with is only but so large, so the hole that is in the opening, this is sounding weird, but you know, the hole of the lip gloss is also quite narrow. For me personally, I prefer like a bigger applicator when it comes to lip plumpers and oils and things like that, but I digress. Let me just finish this up. There's this new Chanel lipstick that's out right now that I feel like this is kind of the super amped up party girl Douyin version of. That one is more of like a iridescent violet color with a bunch of small sparkles, but this one is that like to the nth degree, I feel like. And voila, after many minutes of painstaking design and care with application, I give you the ultimate Douyin party girl lip. I don't know what I would call this. There you have it. That is all the new makeup that I have for you guys today. I tried on all of it, and I think there were a lot of surprising, you know, unexpected twists and turns that this journey took us on today. Like, first of all, I actually like a face product from Canmake. That's a first for me. I think so far I've only really effed with Canmake's creamy touch liners. Their blushes have also been consistently in my approved list, but as far as, you know, like their eyeshadows or even their lip products, I don't like the smell. They're supposed to be scentless, but to me they smell really cheap and plasticky. And yeah, the face products, I've never really been too enamored with any foundations or powders or anything that they've put out, but I think it seems like the curse has been broken somewhat because this Fit Glow cushion is definitely up my alley in terms of the finish and the comfort of wear. It's totally scentless as well, so there's not even any weird chemical scent whatsoever. There's like a slightly fresh scent if you put your nose really close to the cushion. But yeah, it's scentless, lightweight, I barely feel it, and I love the dewy effect that it gives. And it's been several hours now since I first applied, so it holds up really nicely. I've been outside and walking around in the rain, no less, for the past few hours, so it's holding up pretty well as far as I can tell. The new Heart Powder Cheek in P05, I already love this formula, and I knew that this shade pretty much was in line with the whole Sakura theme that I had in mind for today, so this one checks out as well. Unfortunately, this is a huge bummer, but the Dasique Love Blossom eyeshadow palette really underwhelmed. Yeah, I'm not impressed. The mattes are okay, but the shimmers definitely leave a lot to be desired, and the shades as a whole, they are just, they don't provide enough contrast for my liking. I feel like they could have condensed this whole thing down to 4 shades and it would still give me the exact same effect that I created today on my eyes. The Low Tint by BBIA, I am obsessed with this. I only wish that they came out with a wider shade range, because this is the only color from their existing range, or I don't know if they have more, but I only saw a limited range in Japan. But yeah, there was about 5 that I saw at the counter that I went to in my local drugstore. This is the only shade that really called out to me. I would love to also have this in like a true blue red, cool tone red shade, but I'm not gonna hold out for that because, you know. But I'm glad that they have this shade, and I'm obsessed with the apples smell. All my lip products today smell so good. YSL smells like peaches, BBIA is fresh apples, and then even the Vise lip plumper, this one smells like sweet mint. Very mild, not overpowering at all, like very fresh. I'm just in love with my lip combo right now. I almost want to like take it off and do a whole new separate reel with it. Can somebody just give me my accolades for this lip combo today? Because I really feel like I broke through the ceiling with this one, you know? Like, I figured out a way to do that Douyin lip, but in a way that like the design is locked in, you know? Because when you look at the Douyin girlies, okay, it looks good. I mean, if it's matte, that's another story. If it's matte products, then you know that it's probably gonna stay put. But sometimes like the girlies do a super glossy looking Douyin lip, and then you know that that's only going to last for about 10 seconds before it gets ruined with you moving your lips around or talking or something. But I feel like with these 3 products, it's literally like the perfect sandwich for whatever specific shade or color that you want to showcase with the tint. You know what I mean? Like this YSL plumper as the base, it's gonna stay in place, and then you put your desired tint color of choice on top, and then after you let that sink in, seal it in again with another lip plumper. So I feel like even though I'm talking, I'm smacking my lips together, nothing is moving or getting destroyed. That design that I spent the last few minutes so painstakingly crafting on my lips, it is staying put. Like, it's not getting moved around, it's not getting destroyed. I think I need to go do a separate TikTok on this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I think this winning first place for the most long-lasting lip tint is definitely warranted, because if you look, even if I swatch that on the back of my hand and then wipe it off immediately right away. Okay, I only have a bare tissue, but I've done this before with makeup remover on and it still doesn't remove the tint completely. Like, that is a very noticeable stain, and I left it on for less than 10 seconds. So yeah, I'm so excited. I finally found a way to join the whole watery lip tint party without compromising my own preferences when it comes to how I want my lips to look. So very excited about that. However, I'm still not going to be dabbling in any Rom&D lip products because Rom&D is just, you know, Rom&D is like the Zara of makeup. I'm the kind of person that I prefer either luxury, like, you know, designer clothes, designer makeup, or boutique, really interesting little private labels. I don't like the big mass retailers in between, like the Zaras and the Uniqlos. And I feel like brands such as Rom&D or, I don't know, Etude House are kind of like the Uniqlo and Zara of the Asian makeup world. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As usual, I will leave links to the products down below in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye!